Howdy there, folks. How's it going today? I hope you're all doing really good. Well, we got a pretty easy one on the bench today. Thank God, because I haven't been feeling that well lately. But anyway, this is a Washburn Bantam series. This one belongs to me, and this gets used constantly. The guys that I jam with, the bass player always grabs this. He really likes it. It's got a nice kind of woody punchiness to it. It really cuts through, records really nice too. Got a three-way switch and all that. Fake wood grain, it's just painted on. I paid 99 bucks for this when I bought it. I bought a digital audio workstation for recording. I needed a bass, so I bought this for, I think it was 99 bucks or something. I didn't expect much, but man, oh man, when I plugged this thing in, I was floored at how good it sounded. So I've seen these out in the wild still. People are still, putting them in closets and underneath the bed. So if you ever find one, it's a really good bass. So last week I was jamming with a couple friends, a drummer and bass player, and the bass player was asking me if I had a wrench to tighten this up, and he was twisting it at the same time, and I said, hey, don't twist that, you break the wires, and it was humming anyway, and as soon as I said it, he was going to stop twisting, and it just went silent. He said, oh, I think that's what I just did, so probably have to resolder the jack there. We'll look it over. If it's kind of rough, I'll put a new one on it, but anyway, we got to get this fixed because, like I said, this gets used constantly. Use it on a lot of recording, jamming, you name it. And, it's nice and light too. It's just really fun to play. What do we got to have here? We have a Phillips screwdriver, all right. Okie doke. Well, I found one that fit. Always make sure you get a screwdriver that fits the screw really well. You don't want to, when you turn it back and forth, you don't want a ton of slop there, you know what I mean? Because this stuff, I say it all the time, it strips so easy, and a lot of times you can't find screws at your local, in-town hardware store, so not these ones at least, so gotta be careful, folks. Alright, I got you guys down where the work is here. And there you have it. We got one wire on there. So I can see where the other one went right here. Pretty simple. You have one wire. Let me grab a cord right here. I'm going to plug this cord in and show you how a guitar jack works if you don't really know, or if you're someone watching the channel that doesn't play, which I do have quite a few friends that don't play guitar, but you still watch the channel. Okay, so when you plug this in, you can see this piece that's kind of bent over right here. Some of them even go over the top, but that's touching the tip of the jack. And these little lines that you see on the jack itself, this is a stereo jack, so it has two, but they're separated, so if part of the jack is touching the tip, it's not going to affect the sleeve here, which usually is ground. If you look at your switch real close, the longest one, you follow it down, they kind of sandwich together with some plastic separating them. So you can find out which terminal to solder to and where it's going to end up. So again, it's pretty simple. You can figure it out from there, basically, and that's how they work. Okay, so we got a wire here that's kind of sketchy. I'm not really sure. I'm trying to find the other wire that goes to the jack. Of course, it's not there, so that means I have to take the control plate off the back. Oh, darn bass players. Alright, let's take this apart and see what's going on. I need a different screwdriver. That's more like it. Alright, I got a magnet here. I'm just going to set on the bench and throw these screws on there so I don't lose them. If you guys do any amount of repair work or just tinkering on your own stuff, we all know what it's like when you drop a screw and it hits the floor. They magically disappear. So what I ended up doing was buying one of these. They're for like construction. Big magnet on a handle. And really powerful too. So if I drop something on the floor, that's when that comes out. And that saved me a lot of headache for sure. Sorry about the bouncing. I'm trying to work around a camera stand here and talk and sound like I know what I'm doing. So let's dig that out. Okie doke, let's see what we got here. Well, this is a new one. You learn something every day, I guess. Here's where the jack plate goes, and we got one wire hooked to it, right? There should be a ground wire here somewhere. And big negatory on that. So what happened? Did it fall out through the hole? That's odd. Okay, so on a closer inspection here, if you look at this wire, it's hard to see with my finger in the way, but there's a braided wire inside that coating there too. So they have as a hot, and the bare wire would be the ground. So that must have broke off from the wire, I'm guessing. I'm going to run a whole new ground. I'm going to put a piece of wire in and then ground it up here somewhere. So I guess it wasn't that big of a mystery. It was just something I didn't really look at first. I'm not a real big fan of that wire either, so I may strip that back and jump something off it, or even just hit it, direct with what's left. All right, so I stripped the original wire back. I'm going to use that for the hot, where it's hooked to a tone pot inside, a potentiometer. And I think I got enough solder there, but that'll do it. Give it a little tug test, make sure it's on there, okay? Now I'm going to run a new wire for the ground. Alright, so we'll stick this black wire through here. I guess I got to get it hot or it won't let me do it. And a little solder in the way, probably. Or some of the old wire where it fell off. Come on. Alright. We'll call that good right there if I can get it to stay. Yeah, that's good. Okay, now we're just going to solder that to this pot, and then we'll clean this wiring up. You don't want that sticking out into the area where your cord is going to be sticking through that jack. So we'll clip them wires up good. And we'll run the wire through and just ground it to the back of one of the pots. Remember, if you're grounding to a potentiometer, no matter if it's a volume, a tone, or whatever, make sure it's all the way on 0 or all the way on 10. You don't want it in between, because if you get the pot hot, it can burn the wiper out, and then you got a bad pot. So always turn them down or all the way up. I even forget myself sometimes, and I've ruined a few pots, let's just say that. Alright, we got it all cleaned up, and I clipped the wires off. So now what we're going to do is put this wire back in, and we're going to shove this black wire in there. That's going to be our new ground. I don't really care for braided wire. I prefer solid core. But, that's my deal. If you like braided wire better, then that's okay. Yeah, let's get to see if I can get it to squeeze in there for me. Okay, so here's the wire. I'm going to solder it to the back of that pot. Now you can bend solid core wire, which is nice, and you can manipulate it to, so it'll stay there touching. I think what I'm going to do is just take a set of jumper clips. I'll clip it to the other wire, and that'll hold it for me. Okay, well, I think I got both pieces. All right, so we got the pot turned right off. We're doing 0. And now we got to get some heat down here. It takes a few seconds to get the back of it warm enough so it'll stick and whatnot, but I got to get a little more solder out here. Okay. Trying to keep my hands out of the way, but it's really tough. Anyway, we're going to put a good charge of solder on there so I know it's not going anywhere. I think we can work with that. All right, well, I guess we can just put her back together now. I'll plug a cord into it and check it with a multimeter and make sure we got some signal, but I'm pretty confident it's okay. I'm really shocked that this didn't break something earlier in its life. Like I said, this has been not really abused, but it's been played a lot, and I mean a ton. The frets still look pretty good on it. Like I said, it's just, they don't have to cost $1 million to make magic in a studio or what have you. It's a really easy bass to record. And recording bass is not that easy sometimes, so I've plugged right directly into the board with this and recorded. It's just got that nice sound to it. All right, let's put the jack plate back together here. I'm not sure where this is made, probably Indonesia or China. Not really sure. Washburn does make some pretty high quality guitars too. I've never owned one, but those Nuno Betancourt, I guess his name is, those were pretty nice guitars. I know I've seen a few for sale here and there, but never had the chance to play one. Okay, that's it for the screws. All right, don't forget to tighten that nut up on your jack either, because that's where the problem originates from. Once that nut gets loose, it's over. Anyway, we got it plugged into a tuner here. Let's see if we got signal. We do. Now let's check the middle position. Got it there. Neck position. We got signal there. Volume off. Tone off. You can't really tell the tone here, but I think we're pretty much done with this one. Alrighty, folks. Well, I think we're all set. I'm going to just clean this up and pick up the bench a little bit, clean that off too. And I just want to say thank you for all the views, nice comments. And again, if you ever find one of these out in the wild, it might be worth looking at. They're not that expensive, so they just have a nice sound to them. And if you're a guitar player, it's a really kind of an easy transition with the shorter neck length and whatnot. But again, a really good bang for the buck here. I don't know what I'd do without this thing, honestly. But all right, we'll see you guys real soon. Be good. Okie doke.